Hey guys, welcome back to the Wise Table podcast. I'm your host, Shealee Parker, and thank you so much for tuning back in for yet another episode. I'm really excited that you're here for this one. We have a guest joining us at the table today. She's a dear friend of mine, a former business owner, a worship leader, and musician. She's a mama of four, an advocate for Christ, and oh yeah, she's hilarious. Her name is Jenny Gordon. Now, Jenny and I had such a great time together that our recording went a little longer than average, so we'll call this episode Part 1. Speaking of multi-part series, this is going to be a regularly premiering show, and what I mean by that is there are going to be episodes posted on a regular basis. Now, although these episodes will be posted on a regular basis, we all know how busy life gets, and I would hate for you to miss any new episodes or content from your new favorite podcast. So I'll encourage you to like, subscribe, follow, or hit that little bell icon to ensure that you don't miss out on any new videos, content, or episodes. Your support of this show means the world to me, and it also ensures that we get to have more episodes like these posted for many more seasons to come. I hope you have as much fun listening to this episode as we did making it. Welcome back to the table. Here's Jenny.
Testing 1, 2. Testing.
We need a little more cowbell.
How can you tell if the mic is going?
I gotta stop it and turn it back on.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
gotta listen to it back.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm probably gonna talk louder than that, so it's gonna be a little more New York.
Oh, New York. I love New York. So, just got my hair done.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
beautiful.
I love it. I love that for you.
I like yours too. Hunter had one where I can't even remember what he said, which drives me nuts. It was like he was trying to do a Chinese accent, and it was relevant. I don't know what the relevance was, but it was relevant. This man is not the best with accents. He's great with
I'm just picturing
quoting.
Hunter doing an accent in the first place.
Yeah,
And
see?
So
Yeah, it's like there's no way. Well, apparently, if he fails brutally at a Chinese accent, it comes out impeccable Scottish.
oh, okay. That's good to know. That's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was quite taken
don't
back.
think I can even really nail a Scottish accent at all. So that's a skill.
It's like
Aim for Chinese. Shoot for the moon, land among the stars. Aim for Chinese, land in the Scottish dialect.
the thing I can think of is like Scottish accent is what you would envision a tongue twister being
Mhm.
as a language.
Yes.
Because even when I try to think about it,
Yep.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a mind bender.
And mostly what you hear in your mind when you think of Scottish is like R's and B's with no words attached, so you can't even start in. You're like, how would they say this?
I cannot.
It's probably not the way everybody sees it.
Like, is she Cuban? Is she Scottish? I don't know. She's Scottish. She's Scottish. What's dumb is I can do an Irish accent. I cannot do that one.
Oh.
I can't.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's hear a bit of your Irish.
Do you know how to do a British accent?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you
Yeah,
can...
but I recently learned that you're not all, like, Brits don't speak posh British.
No, not
So-
at all. And there's like different, I'm not going to pretend like I even know, but it makes sense. Like we know the difference between a New Yorker, I'm not
Mhm.
even going to try to do the rest of that, I'm going to butcher it, versus like Minnesota versus,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Mm.
That's funny because whenever my husband met my mom's side of the family, they're all Northern.
Mhm.
We got back and we're driving home and he's chuckling to himself. What is so funny? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have a Coke on the sofa.
And it's like, I grew up with these people, so I don't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I moved farther south
Mhm.
and not even that far south, but just hearing like my stepdad has this very strong Southern accent to the point
Yes.
I didn't understand half of what he was saying when I first met him. My mom would lean over while he was preaching and go, "What did he say?" And I would go, "I have no idea."
And he's pretty articulate for a
Yes.
Missourian.
Yes. He is. And now I can understand him. And I feel like it has gotten much less twangy for some reason.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But
Actually.
then my husband's side of the family is also has Southern backgrounds as well. His dad's from Arkansas. His mom's from, I believe, born in Georgia, but lived in Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So pretty, I don't know. Like sometimes that twang comes out a little more.
The very, very Southern ones, now this probably wouldn't be your husband's parents, but I had a teacher from Mississippi. And
Oh.
it was almost like they speak as if they're tripping on every word with their tongue. It was very delightful, but so confusing to my brain. And I specifically remember when he gave us the class schedule.
The
And I was
what?
like, the what? The schedule. And I was like,
Oh,
the schedule. Got it.
yeah.
So
That's like
I thought I was twangy
Cajun.
until then.
You thought you were what?
I thought I was twangy until then.
Yeah.
But
Nope. It's like hearing Gaelic and
yep.
like that's like I don't speak Spanish. I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I know a little bit.
Mhm.
Got to work around a lot of people that spoke Spanish and they got to teach me. And so I could understand very bare basics. And even if you
Sure.
don't, it's a Latin-based language. So you can
Yes.
you can kind of figure some things out,
Absolutely.
you know, taco and burrito. No, but like, like you can understand some things. They make sense. Their language
Yeah.
just makes sense. And then one time I worked with a gal. We had a complete language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
She spoke Portuguese and I thought I was going to have a stroke.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one.
My brain was like, this is Spanish.
And I was
It's
like
not.
closer to 30 when I found out that they speak Portuguese in Brazil. 'Cause
Really?
I thought they spoke Spanish. And so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I could go to Brazil. I'd know what they sing. Not a prayer. Not a prayer. How do you mix Spanish and French? That's not fair.
See? Yeah. It's like, that's not fair at all.
No, not a bit.
I think that's what throws my brain off is like you listen to it and your brain starts tweaking out because you're
Mhm.
going, I should know this.
Although I have to say, I don't think that we are common on this. There's probably a lot of women that can relate to us in the internet world, but like in daily life, probably women who are like, oh, it's a Latin-based language, so A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. And then like being confused by a new format of that. I bet you most people would just be like, yeah, I don't understand, and that's fine. We're
Yeah.
like, I gotta figure
gotta
out the
know it.
puzzle.
I've got to know
I hear
it,
it
man.
and I want it and I need to speak this. I don't know. I feel like not
Whatever.
every woman that I speak to can relate on that. But
Every woman in this room that you speak to can definitely relate to that. Because I've not much. I've been overseas once
Mhm.
and got to be in two countries.
okay.
Very cool experience. And
Yeah.
each one I was like, I gotta know it. I gotta have it. I gotta know how to speak.
Okay.
I don't want to be a complete tourist here. But then I try to say like, where's the bathroom? And they're like, this freaking English speaking girl, what is she doing?
But no, then I turn into the person who like can say it properly. So then I'm like trying to
And then
say
they
it in the
expect you-
correct dialect.
Yeah.
And then they're like, think I know a lot more than I do. And then my friends back home are like, oh, Jenny is like such a know-it-all.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, no, I can't speak this language. I just want to say it right. That's it.
That's hilarious because the simple phrases, they're really easy to get down. If you're used to speaking that, I don't know, like if you're encouraged to learn in those ways and you really want to get it right, sometimes it gets you in trouble because I
Then
used
they
to.
go fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right?
did that. I had that happen in Italy where I thought people would just like assume and hear my accent and be like, oh, this girl needs help. I asked him a question like where the bathroom was and, you know, my dad needed to use the restroom. Do you have one? He couldn't find one. So I started talking to her just really light. And then she just was like, yep, just went nuts. And I'm standing there like, oh no, you know, where you get the job and
You
you're
lost
going, am
me
I
at word
actually
3.
qualified for this?
Yes.
I don't know if you maybe know this. Maybe you do. I worked at Lowe's
Okay.
for like 3 months.
Okay. That's kind of I don't know. That makes sense for a Shealee type of job.
Yeah, just completely random. I go from business owner to that to helping run another business. Just whatever I want to do. Work with horses. Sure, let's do the photography. Sure, let's do that. Whatever. Well, anyway, I worked down at their like pro area.
Mhm.
So I worked with a lot of contractors, primarily Spanish.
Yes.
So while talking to them, there's a common phrase to ask them, like if they found everything they needed or whatever. So I'd ask them, ¿encontraste todo lo que necesitas?
Mhm.
And I'd hear that and be like, oh, yeah. And then they'd go ballistic. And I'm like, I've practiced that one line for 3 months. That's all you get. That's all you get.
No. Well, listen, though, I do think that probably people assume that we've learned their language the way they've learned ours too. Like, because when you're in Italy or any of the European countries, a lot of them do know English as a second language.
Yes.
And of course, most contractors that are here in the U.S. speaking Spanish as their first language have to speak English pretty well.
Yep.
So I think they're probably just like, oh, good. You know, she's
Trying.
doing her work too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I didn't do any of the homework. I just aced the test. That's it.
I didn't show up for any of the college classes.
I am making a C in this conversation right now. It is vapor thin, the knowledge of this.
That's a very good way to put that.
Yeah. If I had to like take an ADHD trait that I have, which who knows exactly what that means in this modern age of self-diagnosing, but if I had to take an ADHD trait that I have that I'm like, this helped me in every situation, it'd be that one right there. The ability to like figure out enough to really shine in the right situation and help people and get what you need done. Mm-hmm. And then it also is the exact Achilles heel when it comes to consistency.
100%. Anyone listening right now, if you haven't figured it out already, you're in the presence of two ADHD level squirrels.
Bingo.
Yeah, I could very much agree with that because it's funny. I could be a perfectionist in one area and absolutely a slob in another. I would love starting laundry.
Yep.
Hate putting it away. It
can live in the basket.
Oh,
it can live there. That's a nice drawer that's just portable. I feel...
You're not supposed to make me feel good about that.
Right.
Now it feels convenient.
Sorry.
But it's like, I have that moment where I'm like, nah, it's fine. And then I have another moment where I just decided I want to learn how to whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat still for 3 hours until I learned how to do it.
See, the dedication when you need it, it can be there.
But at the same time, the dedication when you need it
although
ain't there.
I have to say, I'll give my age on your podcast. I'm 37 now. And
no way.
I know, I still feel 22, except for my joints.
Facts.
But I figured out so many things that have helped hack this stuff. So it can be funny to me now where it once was probably like it's very honest to say it was debilitating as a mom. A stay-at-home mom with like when you need that dopamine hit and somebody gives you like an atta girl and you're like, okay, I can keep going now because I got a rush of dopamine. There is nobody there to do that when you're at home with this little baby. And especially if your husband's not coming home at a specific time every day, he might be home between the hours of 5 and 6:30. Well, you start getting a little bit like an addict of like, I just need something to change to give me some motivation. And so I would try to like use procrastination as a motivator because then like, oh, if he's going to be home at 5, then I'm going to get ... done between 4 and 5. And then I'll have my day's work done. And I could get a whole house clean, baby tidied up, all that stuff in an hour. What was I doing the rest of the day?
Existing.
Right? Existing. Doom scrolling.
Half of every chore in the house. Like maybe not even half. I would open the dishwasher, roll out the drawer, and go, nope.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just so not interesting to a person who can get interested in. It feels like you can manage at a high level very short term. Almost any information you're given.
That's a really good way to put it.
It's
like fireworks in your brain.
I don't want to do it forever, but I can do it right now to a high degree, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm going to go ahead and call myself out here. The scariest part for me doing this podcast is two scary things. One is identity crisis of being like, oh, I do not know enough, or I don't have a big name. This doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to want to listen to me.
Yeah, like what is that called?
I don't think identity crisis is the right thing.
It's like when people think you're a fake.
Yeah.
I keep thinking Stockholm syndrome. It's obviously not that, but it's a syndrome and it's a real thing. And it's like a lot of people, even if they're a doctor and have studied for years and years and years, they start their practice and they just feel like no one's going to trust me because what even am I?
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what's really sad? We used that on the very first episode, and I have already forgotten.
Really? Well,
yeah, that's the word for it.
yeah.
The phrase, yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I'm horrible with follow through. Classic, right? And so the scary part for me is I can start it up really strong, get high motivation, redid an entire room, built this studio. I'm afraid now, being aware of how I am with that stuff, that there's a chance I'll spend all that money doing that to get started up to do something great and then never finish it.
Oh, girl.
It's paralyzing.
100% hear you. Like the fact that you had those thoughts and then went ahead and put the sign on the wall and, you know, set this up. To me, that's huge because when you talk about executive dysfunction, I would say it would be easy to go, I'm never gonna follow through. So why even start? Or if I do it, maybe it'll be for 6 months. Who cares? I'm not gonna purchase a sign for the wall. This is conversations I have in my head of why I don't do certain things that I have a desire to do, but I don't know if I want to do it a long time. But like, if you can just get to this point and then go, it's almost like there's a good part of it that even if you know that you don't have a lot of consistency, you can use it to build your skill and your moment. There's so much presentness about having a brain that works like this because now you're here with me in a room having a conversation we would otherwise not have. If it's just for that, isn't it kind of worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
This idea that it has to be forever or it has to be something that I love to do the editing with, no, you can actually outsource that job if you want to. But it's almost like so many things seem fun, but there are things that are just genuinely fun to a person like you and me forever and ever. And we actually can build the skill to make that happen. And one of those things for me is children. I can't just have kids and then be like, oh, I don't want to be consistent. No, I don't want to be consistent, but I actually do want to. So then I will go online and I'll be like, how are women doing this when they have brains like me? How are we creating a household that's less chaotic? When you actually just want to go, something that's hard for me is I want to go play music. I want to go just like on a Friday night, I want to have people over. I want to stay up till midnight, 2 a.m. playing music. I don't even care like what kind of music at this point. Let's play house music, whatever. But I don't even allow myself to go there because what'll happen is that's what I'll live for. And so something I'm working on is how do I do that in a small dose to where it's rewarding and I don't have to do it till 2 a.m. and I can still do things that I love with children.
All or nothing.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like that. But the lie is that because I lack consistency, I have to get all of this in one shot.
Yeah.
And it's just not true because when you kind of unravel the lie, if you think about it, no, what do I consistently do? I consistently try new things. I consistently show up for it and work hard when I'm committed to it. I consistently invite people into my world in a way that other people don't necessarily experience them.
Wow. So like rewiring your brain to understand the fact that you are consistent, just not in the ways that you might perceive in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And starting to give yourself attagirls for like, oh, I made a cup of coffee. Oh, look, I'm already doing stuff today. That seems simple and like, oh, well, that's just a play. Well, what if doing a dish was a play item? It used to be when we were playing with our Fisher-Price dishes, you know? And so I started being like, how many dishes can I get done in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I usually only need 5.
Yeah. It's wild because I'm pretty sure my mom told me this, and I don't know where she got this stat from, but I think they're finding that it actually takes more brain power to put something off thinking about doing it than just going and doing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like how many times do you go, I've been thinking about this and dreading it for 30 minutes? I
That's
guarantee.
the laundry for me.
Yes. I'm like, it would have been done by now.
Uh-huh.
It would have been done by now. And I think another great point she gave me, like, she's just really wise. So I quote her a lot.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
She had told me one time, oftentimes we spend a lot of time battling out to do something or to not do something. But the
Yeah.
second you take away the choice
Mm-hmm.
and you tell your brain you don't have the choice, you just need to do.
Yeah.
It's not up for debate. It's not a decision.
No.
You already decided that. Just do it.
Yeah, it's true.
That takes away so much problems. I'm
It
telling you.
does. And one of the little tools, I got this from Melanie Robbins' podcast. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Mel Robbins.
Yes.
Yep.
It was actually just a snippet that I saw on Instagram. I love micro-learning. That's one of the best things about Instagram is you can just take the best of everybody's podcast and get it like that.
Yes. The highlight reel.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's the backside to that too, but it's so cool to be able to learn things so quickly. But she was saying, if you're having trouble making yourself just do it, just count backwards from 5, and on 1, just go.
That's what I do. If I don't want to get out of bed,
Yeah.
I'll tell myself like I do not want to get out of bed. And then I will tell myself like 3, 2, 1, here we go. And it does. It's part of the eliminate the choice. And you still, this sounds strange, you give yourself a second to grieve doing it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all the time you get.
Can you describe that a little bit more for me? Like
Oh.
your feeling of grief doing it? Because I've never heard anybody else say that out loud, but it's something I can really relate to. And I'm curious your thoughts.
I don't know if I have a really good answer for that. I think certain things need to be grieved even if they're not completely gone. Like we have seasons in our life to do certain things.
Yeah.
And those seasons don't last forever. And just because it's not a person, just because they're not gone, it's the same thing where like if families split, but you still have your parent is alive, but
Yeah.
in a sense you have lost them.
Well, you've lost a type of relationship with them that you would have
Right.
had they been there in a different capacity.
Right. And friendships too. Like if you aren't as close to somebody or your friend didn't pass away, but you lost that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
It's important to grieve that. Like give yourself time to grieve. For my day job, I work in a blue collar industry as a woman. Yeah.
Honestly, though,
for me, it's
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
for me, it's okay because I don't know. I get to be, I think I'm a little more direct than a lot of females I know.
it's because you're from Iowa.
Is that
I call it Iowa Direct.
really?
I don't know if this is really a thing, but this was my experience when
Sounds
we
like
lived in Iowa, where your family's from.
Yeah.
Like in that area. But it just people would volunteer me to do things like it was nothing.
Really?
And it was no expectation that there needed to be a mannerly phrasing of it. It was just, we'll be at the nursing home at 2 p.m., so bring your guitar. And I'm like, who said I was going?
That's wild because is it? I
It
don't know
was
if
just
that's
their
the
way of
experience I've
including
had.
me.
Yeah.
And they were wanting to include me in something, and it was a kindness. But it wasn't like, hey, would you please come? We love the way you play guitar, and we just want to share that. Like, that's how they would
See,
say
that's
it here.
Southern.
Yes, that's Southern. But Iowans would say it, or Iowegians would say
There you
it
go.
very directly, like, we're going to be there at 2, so come. And if I said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it, they'd be like, oh, okay, next time.
Yeah. Like there's no offense to it.
Right. I think that's
Did I
probably
know
where your
that?
directness comes from.
Yeah. That's weird. I didn't know that.
It's a little bit more honest.
Mm.
I could be wrong.
That's interesting because I don't feel like my family is that way. My mom can be more direct, and I like that. Like she can still be, especially when it comes to myself, my husband, and the family that we've now branched off to create because they didn't gain a new son. We left to go create our own family.
Amen. Yeah.
I'm really firm on that.
Let's tell more people about that.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying that from the young person perspective. I'm saying there are like preachers out there that are like, yeah, you need to let go. My parents are absolute dolls at that. I don't know how they do it. I can't imagine how hard that is.
I come from a family like that as well. And it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. It's done with grace. It makes you want to keep coming back.
Yes. Leave and cleave.
Yeah.
It is the only way for peace in a new marriage.
Yep.
Honestly. Don't
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah. Well, it's great. So, like in that area,
Hmm.
she's really pulled back and does not want to be an inconvenience, doesn't want to invade our personal space, even to the point I'm like, Mom,
Sure.
like come down anytime. Like, quick. You can
Hmm.
come down as much as you want. It's almost, I wouldn't say too much. It is fantastic. Just the way she does it. I don't understand. I think it's a God-given strength that she's probably prayed for.
And she treats you like the woman that you are.
Yeah.
And this is your home, not hers.
Yeah.
And so if you invite her into it, I mean, an unspoken invitation is a nice thing, but I think at some point the boundary setting, not like honestly, I need to phrase this well, because boundaries to me are not what you do to protect yourself from others or to um, push people out of your world. They are just seriously like understanding your capacity and your limits and only doing what is good with inside of that.
It's peacekeeping.
It is, and it's also being aware of your own self and what you can do and what you can't do and where your property line ends.
Mhm.
So it sounds like your mom is very aware that this is your space now
Yeah.
and is letting you
Mhm.
decide your capacity to bring her into that in a really beautiful way.
Yeah.
And I really have a lot of respect for that. And plus I love your mom too. And she's
Yeah.
so kind. Even in her directness, it is so kind.
Yes.
And I'm a little bit, I used to be so sensitive about being corrected on anything. But actually, because of your mother and women like her with their kindness and their just, I guess, their consistency to show up in relationship with me, regardless of things I've said that they disagreed with or thought were unwise at the time. I'm like, I want to receive correction from a woman like that, because it's not her rejecting me by telling me, you might be a little off on this. I read this and this is what scripture says. And what do you think? And I love being corrected by her.
Yeah. Isn't that
If that makes
wild?
sense.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is the one person. Like, don't get me wrong. I think my husband's really becoming that person. I have a massive amount of respect and honor towards him and how he leads our little family. The thing that makes me excited for him to be a dad and for us to be parents. And, you know, and so I have a lot of respect for that, but there's no one that does it better than my mom. And I cannot wrap my head around it, except for the fact that we know a lot of godly women, but there is something about her and how she holds herself. And she really is a blessing and a jewel to her family. It's definitely.
She's been in that holy place, though. Somebody said one time to me, and it was probably one of the biggest compliments I've ever heard, not because it built me up, but because it showed honor to the Lord in it. But they were like, Jenny, I can tell you spent a lot of time in that quiet, holy place. And I'm like, oh, I have. And with your mom, that shows. And I think there's some pains in this world that your mom and I can relate to with each other that do force you to spend time in that quiet, holy place.
Yeah.
And I think you can relate to that as well. For my life and not yours and not your mom's and not any of the other women, I'll just speak for me. Some of the things that caused me, that pushed me into more of that holiness that really develops character in you as a Christian, is just pain, like the painful things that I've had with men. One of the things most recently is my dad going through 5 bypass heart surgery, and just, you don't realize how scared and vulnerable you feel about your dad being scared and vulnerable until you're like at his bedside praying for him.
And him being the pastor.
Yes. Yeah. Like he's the one that has prayed for me. And so when the roles are switched, it really, you don't come up with that prayer for dad without spending time in prayer with God, because there's not enough self-love to ever produce love for someone else. It has to come from God. I mean, I guess you could muster it up somehow. But just to be completely vulnerable and tired and sad and have a prayer to speak over another person, I believe that comes directly from just need of God, allowing yourself to go, I have need, I'm going to get in the quiet place.
Yeah, there's not enough, like, this girl power movement and women power, and you manifest these things for yourself. And like, oh yeah, now don't get me wrong. I do think there is some level of to speak life over something.
Sure, yeah.
But we have to understand that power is not me speaking life, and that power coming from within me.
Right.
The only thing within me that power comes from is the Spirit of the Lord.
Amen. Yeah.
Preach.
Yes, for sure. It's just interesting to see how kindness and directness from a person who has spent time with the Lord of their own comes off as a type of correction that I would just openly receive day in and day out.
Yeah.
When I can tend to be a sensitive or defensive person in my natural state, probably also just in my desire to be seen as a person who knows something or wants to be recognized for being an asset to
Worth and knowledge.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said because I come from the same background. I don't think anybody likes to be corrected, but you and I both understand, like, it was to the point of, if I have any kind of correction, for us, it was almost like degrading, devaluing, dehumanizing. Like, I'm being told by somebody I'm not worthy of something.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least that's how I received it.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't mean it was coming across that way.
Absolutely.
It meant that I had some things I needed to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But the first person that I started to feel that way about, I am looking for constructive criticism from this person, was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And from, you stated the same from yourself, like, you're actually happy to receive that from her.
Yeah.
And I think there is something to be said about a woman of faith that even from people that scared us and was like a earth-shattering, world-crumbling kind of thing to happen, to seek that from another woman of that stature speaks volumes.
This is reminding me, one time I was going through a grieving process of, just certain pains of mine. And at the same time, I was attending your church with your dad preaching and your mom on the worship team with me. And I was like, I'm really tender this morning. And she goes, pride, when your pride dies, it hurts. And I was like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And I don't know that anybody else could have delivered it in a way that, I don't know, they probably could. It was the Lord. It was a moment of the Lord, but she was the mouthpiece. And I treasure that because it made sense of something that I was like, why am I just teary-eyed? I'm just like, when you're being transformed by the renewing of your mind, as it says in Romans, you do not realize that pride dying is so painful because you are killing a part of yourself that wants to be seen and known and heard, but it's wrong.
It's another grieving process like the one we talked about before.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, how comfortable we are showing up in the parts of us that know nothing and are not skilled, but they're immature, so they want to be affirmed.
Yes. It does show a level of maturity to come in and go, hey, I don't know everything about this. Can you teach me?
Yeah.
And that can be, I don't know, I think that takes a lot of humility from all ages. But we were talking offset about, I have this wonderful gal who became a mentor for me through my last business. Yeah. And she was phenomenal. I love her. You know who you are. I have so much love for her. And she became a dear friend of mine, and she mentored me in that business. And then as things progressed and we both got more improved in our business, it actually turned and roles reversed. She really appreciated my newfound style. I'd been, doing a lot of research and being very proactive towards it. And she actually came to me and was like, can you teach me something? I had so much, so much respect for a woman that can say, hey, you are young enough to be my daughter, but I'm going to drop my pride.
Yes.
Come to you with humility and ask someone who is far younger than me, can you show me? Can you teach me something? It takes a lot of humility to ask that out of anybody, but I do have a certain level of the utmost respect for someone who can do that with someone
Well,
younger.
and for you, I'm going to call you out in something good here, but for you to hold honor for her and not just go, yeah, of course she should have been asking me about that all along, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm
I
really
knew this.
good. Right.
You know, I think in our immaturity sometimes when we get seen in something good or invited into a place of teaching someone, whether they're younger or older than us, we forget to honor that person and honor their humility. And then that's when all this man, women are just, can be. Now, I'm in a new space with all the women in my life at this moment, and it's wonderful. And it's so much of God and Holy Spirit just like laying on all of it.
Praise God.
But I used to just struggle with when you come across a bright woman and you kind of you like what she's bright about and you share a similar trait, there's this sort of like, how do we get along? Because now you're in my arena where I shined out. And it's like when we're young, we can assume there's not enough room at the table for both of us to be bright about a certain thing.
Yeah.
Or to be great at a certain skill. There is plenty of room at the table. The lie,
Amen.
yes.
Yeah.
The lie is that if she shines out, then you'll be dimmer.
Why do you think that is?
I think it goes back to the root of the thing that women most desire, that is an innate desire that we need to have affirmed by God, but we've had it affirmed in other ways, which is to be enough, to be worthy, and to be beautiful. Satan also wants to be beautiful. So he doesn't want us to ever be affirmed.
He's the accuser.
He's the accuser. So he shows us all the ways that we're ugly and then says, here's a tool that will keep you tripped up forever amongst women, which is compare yourself to each other and don't get affirmed by God.
Right. It's almost like nature is playing over nurture of there is a hierarchy and there can only be one and there has to be an alpha. And that can be, I don't know. I'm sure there are other people out there like this. I'm speaking for myself here. I feel much more like an alpha mentality kind of woman.
Totally. Yeah, I can see that in you.
Yeah, where really the what I mean by that is I can be a lot more direct. I have no tolerance for drama. And
I don't think any of us actually have tolerance for drama, but some of us just cannot seem to step away from it.
Oh, yeah. It's
You know
like
what I'm
this.
saying?
Like, I don't like drama between me and you. I just want to find out about the drama between you and somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it goes back to that measuring stick that Satan gives us. If we hear about her drama and it's worse than ours, then we're okay, we're worthy, we're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm higher than you.
And then meanwhile, Satan's like, haha, I'm more good looking than all of you.
Right.
I'm more light. No.
Right.
Just rebuking whatever that is at this moment because I need your light in my life. You need my light. We need your mom's light. We need my mom's light. We need all of our Christian sisters' light. There's actually not enough light in me alone to be the light that I need to be.
Yeah.
So if he keeps us comparing and getting our affirmation about our beauty from another woman, or like this whole representation thing, I get it has value. I get it. And I hope this doesn't come off as controversial. I'm not meaning it that way. But if we get our representation from a person we've seen on TV or whatever, rather than from that inner holy conversation with God, like, hey, God, am I enough? Hey, God, how do you see I'm beautiful whenever she walked in the room and all the eyes turned to her? Was I still beautiful? We need to ask God those questions.
Yeah. Not our spouse, not our friends, not the crowd. Because it is extremely hard to see it that way. It's extremely hard to go, if I don't turn heads when I walk in the room. And it's oddly enough, like some of it might be conceited. Some of it might just be, we're just looking for confirmation that we're doing something right and that we are holding the status that we should. And right, like I want to do my name, my family's name, my husband proud. And I also kind of want to do myself proud. Well,
it's a beautiful need and a beautiful desire when you have that need met by God.
Directed appropriately. Right.
Yeah. If you have that need that goes totally unmet for your whole life, and say, maybe for some of us, I know even though I had a great dad, and I'm not throwing shade on any dads, but a lot of how we learn how God thinks of us is through our dad.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is broken or messed up, or dad was just busy, or for whatever reason, it can be church busy. It could be, maybe he's a great guy, but just in his providership, this need went unmet. Doing our job to take that straight back to the Lord and go, God, am I beautiful? God, do you have time for me? God, did you abandon me? He'll start showing you the ways where he sent a dad. He'll start showing you the ways where he sent a mom. All these things. And you'll realize my cup is full. So when she walks in the room, I can celebrate her. Because one of the ways that we can be tempted, this envy thing, I feel like this happens in church a lot. Because maybe we don't have the sin of stealing or whatever, but the envy and strife things that Paul says were to the church all the time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't for somebody else. He knew it was happening amongst Christian women and men. But to look at someone and go, okay, now I have to envy her. She's physically pretty, so maybe she is mentally ugly or emotionally ugly.
Yeah, you look for ways to get up, have one up on her.
Yes. And it's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's shameful. And it should not be done.
Yeah.
But if our cup is not full, we run the risk. It's like the chink in your armor.
Yeah.
You got to be covered in the armor of God. And one of those ways is going, God, how do you see I'm beautiful today?
Yeah.
It can be a daily thing. But I think we don't expect God to talk back with us on those things. Or maybe we've accepted the lie from Satan that that's not important.
Yeah.
If it wasn't important, he wouldn't constantly try to rob us of it.
Yeah. I had a line in one of the previous episodes where I said, actually, I don't remember if it was a previous episode or if it was speaking at church.
Cool.
We had a gal and she's been struggling. She came in and I love our small group before service, and it's middle age, and I've seen a lot of vulnerability come out of that room.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so cool. Nobody's in there worried about trying to be perceived a certain way. And even if they do, I think everybody does, whenever they start to listen to one after another person come in and say what they're truly struggling with or what really stinks in their life right now, they feel safe to expose that. I don't know what caused that besides for maybe somebody praying about it. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
But she came in and really struggling with anxiety and some other things I won't disclose, but really struggling with a lot of stuff. And she came in, she's like, I'm a mess, no makeup, puppy eyes, but I'm here. And I knew, like, even though I'm late, I got to be here. I just have to be here. And I mean, like, it was like small group stopped. We encouraged her, prayed over her. And right before prayer, I told her, I said, the devil cannot take away your calling, so he'll convince you have no one at all.
Yeah.
If he can convince you that you have no calling at all, he'll beat you before you even get to the point.
I think you're preaching to me right now, Shealee. Can I speak into that in a different way? It's going to be like a subject change, but I think what you said is so powerful and profound. Because I just trace this right back to the original ADHD conversation we were having. Because what if we think we can only, and I should just own this, what if I think I can only reach my full potential or my God-given calling if I am consistent in the way that I see other people being consistent? And I compare myself to that consistent woman who, she's showing up on time to the soccer game with all of her kids dressed. And, all those things. If I use that as a measuring stick of if I am worthy of God's calling, how silent can I be kept?
Oh. And not even based on external pressures, but internal.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Then you isolate.
Yeah. Because isn't it crazy when you find out the enemy isn't always actually from the outside? Sometimes it's within.
Absolutely.
When the enemy is within your walls, right? Like,
well, something about this I learned a few years back that I feel like this is how the enemy gets, or maybe one way. I shouldn't say this is how specifically, but I think it is one way. Is by building your belief systems based off what you experienced when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody just said this the other day in our Bible study, which was, you know, if you believe God at his word, you're going to be out there evangelizing. Similar to if I say there's a fire and you believe there's a fire, you're going to run out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
We are responding to belief systems that were built when we were like 0 to 8 years old, or some psychologists, I think, believe it's like 0 to 12 years old.
Mm.
But it's very young. And so if I experience something when I'm 10 years old, or I guess that even could be a little bit too old, but like 7 years old, and I'm responding to the people in my world the same way I interpreted that,
Mm-hmm.
the enemy is just, he's already built the format. So
Yeah.
he can just come in and land and wreak havoc.
Right. Hey, remember this?
Uh-huh.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Because it's literally what I believe.
It's a learned response.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it, so I'm acting on it.
Yep.
And I believe now, this is where transformed by the renewing of your mind makes so much more sense than just what I used to interpret it as. Because I need those beliefs reset
Yeah.
to stop making room for the enemy at my table.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't want to eat with the enemy. Even if
Right.
God prepares my table in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
he is not welcome at the table.
Right. Right. Remember who brought you to the dance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I think that kind of speaks towards having grace for people whenever you think about it that way and go, you know what? We're all, we're all adults, but when you look at it as we're all responding to things
Mm-hmm.
and reacting to the world based on how we saw it when we were at a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have a traumatic event that happens and then something in the future replays that kind of reminds you of that, did you know your brain actually hijacks and responds as if you were that age
Absolutely.
again?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I had to do a ton of work on this in myself.
Yeah.
Even because you can get complex trauma. We'll call it trauma. I feel like it's more of impressions in your brain and your nervous system more than it is direct trauma.
I like how you put that because I feel like people use trauma as the final say.
They do.
I have trauma and that's just what I got.
Yeah, it's a reason, but it's not a good excuse. And
Mm-hmm.
It also doesn't eliminate you from personal responsibility
Right.
for your actions, even if you have a poor belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but these impressions that we're left with can be like, I remember I spent a couple of years worried that every time my parents said a strong word to each other that they were going to get divorced.
Yeah.
Like the kid in class who, told me their parents started fighting and then they stopped talking and then now they're divorced. And I lived as if that was happening. My nervous system believed it. And I was just a kid. All I needed to do was say, hey, mom and dad, am I safe? Are you guys good?
You know what's wild is you had that response even though your parents actually never separated, and it wasn't like it was in your marriage when you started arguing and then you were worried if it was going to end like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I watched that with my parents. And the funny part is I really don't recall them arguing much, but I do remember a few times because like when it gets that strong and that out of hand,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I think it's not appropriate for a child to hear that. And I'm sure they were pretty well aware of that.
Yeah.
However, I do think it's important that children learn how to disagree and argue
Yes.
in a healthy manner,
Yes.
how to resolve conflict in a healthy manner.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to, fortunately, watch my mom and stepdad whenever they went through disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
especially when we got older. It
Yeah.
wasn't hidden. It wasn't behind closed doors. We'll talk about this later. My mom's like, yeah, the thermostat, we argue over it. Well, no, we don't argue. We just disagree. Well, we do whatever we want.
It's discourse.
Yeah. Arguing has such a strong term to it because we just believe it means
Mm-hmm.
it's the end of the world. And
Yep.
you're screaming and you're fighting, and it's not.
That's how every movie from the 90s portrayed it, though.
Really.
I think.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
How did it portray it before that?
I don't actually know.
If you think back to the movies like 50s, 60s, 70s, I'm very curious to see how it was portrayed then.
Yeah. And I imagine that probably film industry was appealing to a generation of people that many more of those kids had separated parents. And so it was maybe more relatable or something. But it really seemed like they can't agree, and so they just go their ways on almost every case, which is not true.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, that's how I was interpreting it. I got a belief based on something that was said in my school, and then I looked for proof of it everywhere.
Amen to that. It normalized unhealthy behavior and speech pattern that basically caused you to, what do you call it whenever they show you your future and then you end up completing that because you're expecting it?
Yes.
What do they call that? There's a name for it.
Yeah, there is.
It's like self-fulfill. It's like you fulfill your, what is it?
It's like affirming or something. Confirming. Confirmation bias.
I mean, I guess that could portray it in a natural response, but it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Got it. Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
We got there.
We did.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're told this, and so then you start to look for every reasonings behind it.
Yeah.
And what's wild is we were portrayed these awful ways of communicating, awful ways of treating each other, especially in relationship areas.
Yes.
Like horrible means of communication, horrible slander towards. Yeah. And then we started to take that as, well, we never see mom and dad argue, because there are plenty of people that are like, I don't care what the argument is. Kids should never see it. Well, then the only example that we got was from Hollywood, which Hollywood is a horrible parent.
Absolutely.
Like your kids should not be learning how to do that.
And I was even sheltered on this.
Really?
But I still feel like I just had such, a confirmation bias that I was just, what I was doing was looking for safety so that I could be regulated, so that when, and my parents did not even fight that much, to be honest with you.
Right. That's what's crazy is sometimes it's like, it's not the parents' fault that they either didn't argue because they didn't argue much, or they chose not to argue in front of the kids. They did what was best for them. They did what they thought was best. Whenever you have kids, you're a first-time parent and they're a first-time kid. Like everybody's trying to learn things on their own. Speaking like I have kids, I don't yet.
Well, but you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's wild.
It is. And I just want to say, for the sake of this conversation, that this is one of the best things about podcasts and about the internet. I mean, the internet has its fair share of horrors, I will say that. But one of the most beautiful things about it is my husband and I have learned what it looks like to make up in front of our kids. Even if we don't end up getting to have the makeup conversation in front of them so they can learn the skills of like, I don't like that you did this. It made me feel such and such, but I still love you. And then, well, I did this because this, and you may not understand, but that's just the best I could do, but I still love you. Like, they may not get to have that, like, hear that every time, but I'd say like 1 in 3, they're getting to hear it.
Wow.
And we always go back to them and say, hey, just so you know, we said sorry, and we are, we're fine now. And I want you to know that. And our kids, I can see their nervous systems being regulated the better we get at that. But yeah, I'd say like probably 1 in 3 times where we run into some discord among ourselves, the kids could actually hear us work completely through it.
That's awesome.
It is. But I'm like thankful that we learned how to do that, because neither one of us came to our marriage with that skill at all.
Yeah. It is definitely a learned ability. That is not something that just comes with marriage. I think it is the number one hardest thing to do when you're married. It's not the fact that you don't get along about the dishes or your schedule, or it's your communication, and it's expectations, unmet expectations, unspoken unmet expectations, and it all circles around your communication.
Yes. And it's that undoing of the belief of all or nothing.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, every fight we come to, I'm like, okay, well, we're never getting divorced, so I just have to grow apart from him for the rest of our marriage. It's like the tempting thought, if I'm being very honest. And that's not how it has to be.
Right.
There's a way through it every time. I'm actually very thankful that my husband grew up in a family that was very comfortable with confrontation, because even though it was a lot for me at first, I have learned so much from it.
Yeah.
Because when you watch people say like, really strong things to each other. And then they're just like, they're fine at the next barbecue. And you're like, whoa. It really comes against your like good guys and bad guys mentality. Because, you think like, well, this person says such and such and such, so their character is blah, blah, blah. And then I don't want to be around that person. Well, imagine they just said something heated in the moment and they're just used to saying things in a stronger way. And they have no expectation that that means they'll be cut off from a relationship.
Yeah.
The security in that is actually really kind of cool.
That's what I love about healthy marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I don't know, like the covenant of marriage is meant to show us the covenant that we have with God.
Mm-hmm.
We mess up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a promise that I made to my husband that I will let you down.
True.
I will. We are so close. We have so much in common. I can say with absolute certainty that he is my best friend. I've never been with somebody where I've laughed so much and just enjoyed our authenticity.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like I'm learning to feel very comfortable, even in my skin, around my husband. And I just love that kind of security.